team is, how do we introduce ourselves to people well in advance of purchase? How do we stay in touch with them after purchase so that they feel good and have confidence in our brand?
Now there's so much data, and there's so much you can do for it, so it's like, where do you find the right pieces to help guide that editorial content and create and monetize that into like an e-com space? So that's definitely been a challenge, but also we have our fastest growing channels are really our digital and print subscriptions. We kind of see the e-com space as a benefit to our subscribers, where it's like, hey, these are the items we've reviewed. This is why you should buy it. This is why you should trust us. This is the work. This is what we're doing for you.
Knowing when something is happening and like leaning hard and fast into it, so you can really capitalize on what is happening in society, in people's minds. And then, like, of course, like this whole year there's been talk of macroeconomic pressures and recession. Lean into that too. Some of our staff literally can probably spout off like the street price of a product from 5 years ago and know that the deal price tomorrow is actually not quite discounted to the level that it needs to be. And like, that's the wave when there's a recession. The wave is people care about value, they care about the price. So lean into that too. I just think there's so much opportunity still in affiliate, and it's really still thinking about the reader first.
We are absolutely data-driven, but we are also still editors and journalists, and so we need data and we need to be data-driven, but then we need to let, and I'm not one of them, we need to let our editors and our journalists do what they do best as well. So there's always a balance there. And so I think that's been an interesting evolution as we go through and we think about how we structure our organization and how we structure our teams, and we structure our culture even, like less PowerPoints, more facts is kind of what I'd like to say as well. And so I think that there's an evolution because we are fortunate that we have so much data. It's about how do we synthesize that down and tell a very succinct story.
Metric that everybody wants to use, and I really wish we could use, is did people share this content? And I just want to kind of put a little flag out there, because I agree, if somebody cares to share, that's a sign that people are really engaged with it. Here's the problem, is the mechanics that people use to share content are not measurable. So when I was talking to David, like, of course people want to know how many times people use the share button. Nobody uses the share buttons.
I think there's been a big focus on currency because Bitcoin was really completely about currency initially, and that was the big initial driver of the crypto space. It's normal that this has driven a lot of attention. The cryptocurrency space is sort of the union of everything you don't understand about computers with everything you don't understand about money. But I think that's entirely correct. I think the promise of Web3 is that instead of the system that we have today, where basically might makes right, and that's not a very good institutional system, you can start to think about smarter institutional arrangements in which some actors might be incentivized in this way, and you try to be deliberate in the ways in which they are incentivized. You try to create rules such that there is transparency about who is allowed to do what, who has power over what, who can vote on what things, etc.